I'm Will, I'm the baldbookgeek, and I watched a video by the fabulous The Book Pusher. She is ballsy, strong, I love her channel, and she made a video on how not to booktube. It was one of the best videos I've watched in a very long time. That's her channel, by the way. I'll put a link in the doobly-doo. And yes, I'm getting my phone screen repaired on Wednesday, because I was an idiot that proceeded to try and take something off his phone and broke the screen. Let's start, shall we? So this is my response. So I'm just going to lay down what I think, and I actually agree with her mostly. So yes, I do definitely agree. If you do a negative review, don't tag the author. I don't tend to tag authors in... I don't do a lot of reviews. I tend to tag the publishers in the reviews rather than the authors. I think that's just a better way of doing it. Partly because I know a lot of writers don't want to read reviews. I have many writer friends who keep away from them. So, yes. Not sponsored, by the way. This is also something else. I'm very hard on books as a booktuber. I'm quite honest in my reviews. And I won't lie, YA is not my favourite readership. YA is not a genre, by the way. But there is a misnomer that I hate it, and I really don't. I've read some amazing YA. And I always say, don't hate on it. There's always plenty of places you can go and find books that you love. And I agree with her on that. There's plenty of channels dedicated to the classics, to serious literature, as well as YA, fantasy, whatever. Military history. I found booktube channels about military history, and they're fantastic. I don't read a lot of YA, and I'm very, very hard on books, but there is a lot of YA that I do read. You're welcome to go through. There is YA there. It just depends on my mood, and it depends on as I always say, there's for every amazing YA John Green-esque novel, there's about 20 Twilight ripoffs. So you do, but that's true of every genre, of everything. So like fiction, of classics. There are many classics I don't like. There's poetry I don't like. It's just we all have different tastes, and I think we need to respect each other's tastes. So and I'm going to bring in this one, I'm no stranger to calling people out on their shit. Never takes a lot of balls to do it, and I do it. But what I find really annoying, and this is like, I see this a lot on Twitter, on many sites, that people bitch at us for what we wear, what we do, and don't really talk about the books we're reading. I'm so going to edit and filter this video because I look like crap today. And I want to look healthy in a video rather than dead. So that's my opinion. I'm not going to call someone out because they wear makeup, or because they don't wear makeup, or because they're shooting quickly. Some vile girl mentioned the racist girl, who I won't name.
So now we get to my favorite type of entitlement. The booktubers who blame the racism in booktube for the fact that they aren't successful. I'm not a nice person. Sick and tired of people like this framing booktube in a bad light. That is not fair, because a lot of them go out of their way to help people like you, and then you go around and talk smack about them. That is entitlement to a T, and I'm sick and tired of seeing stuff like that on booktube. African American literacy, or Mexican or Hispanic, that kind of thing. Because here's the thing, in the United States, inner city schools where a lot of these minority groups go to, they're terrible schools. A lot of high schoolers graduate with a third grade reading level. There are problems deep within the literary community with these communities, and people would rather complain about how they don't get enough views than talk about actually helping these people in real life.
Mentioned in a video that she unsubscribed from people because their videos were blurry or the lighting wasn't great. I'm like, as long as they're talking about books you love, who cares about production values? I think we are used to almost TV level production values, and it kind of spoils us a little bit. A lot of people don't have the access to equipment. A lot of people are just starting out and just experimenting and using their phones. I use my phone, yes, I have pineapples on my phone, for a lot of my videos because sometimes it's just easier. I'm like, I can just send it straight to the computer via the iCloud and it's on my Mac. Don't rub your privilege in other people's faces. This is another lesson that we've learnt recently, thanks to Racist Girl, who I will call out on your shit, because that was nasty. That was really vile and nasty. Absolutely, that shocked me, to be honest. I'm rarely ever shocked by people's behaviour, but I thought, is Donald Trump? Does he have a young teenage girl clone? I was like, dear God. Don't sneer at people because they like library books or second-hand books. Because most of the books I read are second-hand or library or come from places like The Works, which are discount shops. There's only a handful of books I request from publishers, and I like to keep it that way because it's easy. It's far easier. Tip that I think we need to learn is if you're going to go into a debate full throttle, and I saw this recently with other stuff, other drama that happened, go in there with, like she said, receipts. Go in there with the information and knowledge on what you're talking about, how you're going to talk about it, rather than just going in blind. I think if you've not seen the original video, you shouldn't really be involved. Because if you've not seen the original video, I don't think you have a leg to stand on. And also, if you get called out for your drama or ill-informed opinions, I have no sympathy, because I see a lot of that happening in general. There is a toxic side to booktube as well, and it's scary, to be honest. A lot of people doing videos that are really just clickbait, and tweets that are quite shocking, to be honest. To be honest, if you're gonna get involved in all this crap, have a leg to stand on. I also think, and it kills me to say this, because debates tend to come from a much younger set of people on booktube, young people, and I'm including myself in this as a teenager, think they know everything. And then you get to my age, which is 30, and you suddenly realise, dear God, teenage me was an idiot. And that will happen to everyone, by the way. That will definitely happen to everyone. I found my old MySpace the other day and wanted to cry. Not for sentimental reasons, more for just sheer shock and horror. There is this whole notion on booktube that if you don't like a certain thing, or you do have a negative opinion, this is toxic positivity as well, which is a fundamental element of booktube, that you are either doing it for attention, or you're not, or it's not seen at all. That is something a lot of people agree on, that if you have a negative opinion, or you just are going against the current, or you don't like someone, you don't like someone's videos, you're doing it for attention, which I find utterly ridiculous. And I think that is toxic positivity, and that is a common occurrence. It's like, you cannot have a negative opinion without doing it for attention on here, or a lot of people have said lines like, oh, I don't really like giving negative opinions because it might be awkward if I met the writer, or I don't want to get stuff from the publisher.
Never really openly discussed books that I didn't really like. Not because I'm scared to share my opinion, more so in the fact that I may run into these authors at events and I didn't want to offend anybody.
That is toxic positivity as well. And also, if you have something to say, don't reduce your discussion to harassment, bullying, and calling someone triggered, or problematic, because they are cop-outs, and a lot of discussion and debate becomes personal attacks, which is scary, and at the end of the day, it's bullying. And if you're calling people out for shit, but you're guilty of the same shit, you need to go away and think about what you're saying. We're all different, we all read different books, we all like different stuff. There is room for all of us here, and if we all liked the same books, it would be very boring. Stand your grounds with opinions, stand up for what you think, but come at it from an educated viewpoint. Don't just put your size whatever foot in your mouth and have no context, no discussion, no discussional value. It doesn't work that way. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get on here and have fun. And also, another tip, don't drag other people into the drama you make. This has happened to me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get involved. because I just want to talk about books, but sometimes I have to get involved, especially if people I know are being attacked, or people I like, or just it seems to come from a very uneducated and catty place. So yes, that's my little ranty rant over, and I will talk to you guys later.